Hello. Oh, my God. What is happening? Sorry, I needed to get in the ring. This stuff. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Oh, just like it is again. Okay. Oh my God. Okay. Sorry, guys. I trying to put this thing in. Okay. So I found this shirt. I have not worn this shirt before, but I feel like was my things. Wow. Anyway, so it looks weird, but it's okay. It's okay. It's just for the camera. So Aisha is asking if he's no, I think he is. Because okay, guys, I am a US citizen. I was not born here. So you I think technically you can be born somewhere else. Just like you can be born somewhere else. The only thing you cannot run for is president. You can't be a president. You can't run for a presidency if you're not born in the US, but you could be, I think a naturalized citizen can run for office. Okay. So oh, thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I was intense. I was emotional earlier. So no, so it's nice, guys. It's nice to kind of prepare. It's nice to put an effort to make an effort to talk to you guys. So okay, so anyway, so George. So this is the thing about George Santos. I think he's more, and I was guys, to be, I did not hear. I had not heard him speak, and I assumed that he would have a Brazilian accent. He does not have any accent that I could detect. And also, so I was very surprised. I don't know if you watched the interview that Tulsi Gabbard, of all people, did with him. It was a great. I was like, wow, she sounded actually very smart, and it was very convincing. So she was pushing him hard, and she was actually really good. And I was like, wow. So she was pushing him, and she did not let him get off the hook. Tulsi Gabbard, of all people. So, and I was surprised. Okay. Oh, that's being investigated. Oh my God. Wow. That's amazing. That's amazing. So I mean, guys, okay. And so the first time, so I watched him speak, it was it was Fox News. It was because I heard people talking about it, like how good it was an interview. So she was like, so you're lying to, it was interesting. I was like, wow, she was surprised that she was, even though I don't trust her, right? She did sound very credible when she was interviewing him. But what I thought was very interesting about him, guys, he's a pathological liar. Uh, and you think, guys, that he is a real like hardcore. And you think, okay, Trump lies, right? But I think, guys, with Trump, you kind of like, he laughs. He's more of an entertainer. But this guy, and guys, this is like the thing these are the truly scary people in the world. Like, you see him talking and he just has a totally straight face, and he doesn't, it's like he doesn't, he's a real, he's a psychopath, like people like that, like that they can like be totally like, oh, I'm fine, like there's nothing like okay. I was like, wow. I was like, this is the thing, those types of people, guys, they're truly like a true like a complete psychological, like pathological liar. He lies at every, reminds me of my sister-in-law a little bit, but because I was like, oh, it's interesting, guys. It's really like, yeah, but guys, I told you about this. Like when I was talking to you guys about this, in Brazil, there's something called the 171. It's 171. When you call somebody in Portuguese, oh, he's 171. That's the penal code for fraud. And in Brazil, that's very common, the kind of fraud that he did. But it's also like when you call somebody a 171 is like a con man, but it's something, there's like a cultural thing about it. It's almost like uh he's a con man, but it's in some countries it's like scams are so prevalent. Like, how do I don't explain it, guys? It's just like it's like a type, it's a criminal. But it's just like he falsified the check. So the story is that the woman, his mother worked for a wealthy person, and he stole the check, and he wrote the check as if he was his own, like as if he was the person, right? So he stole the check. So I don't think that honestly, in Brazil, it's like there's that kind of crime is so common that it's like, I don't think that I don't think it's going to be extradited. No, but I think if you guys, there's something in your immigration. If you lie about conviction, if you lie about in your immigration papers, you committed a crime. I think it becomes complicated. I think if you're a criminal of some sort and you apply for citizenship and you say you've never committed a crime, that's a problem. But the thing, guys, his accent is so good. Oh, hi, Joe. I was talking to the accent is so, like, I think he grew up here. It really does sound like he grew up here. I don't know, I don't quite know, but his English is really very good. So anyway, but he's, guys, the amount of lying, and I told you, I've been watching, if you look up on YouTube videos about how to spot a narcissist, like ever since my situation, I've been listening to all these like podcasts about, like, not podcasts, like videos about from real psychologists, like explaining the different types of narcissism, and like it's saying that those people, guys, they lie because it's different from us. Like we think, oh, I could never lie to somebody like that. Like I'll be like, my face would show, I'll be like, I'm transparent. But for people like them, it's almost like they create a character to hide who they really are. And they think they're above. Those people have no regrets. They never, this is the thing about their personality style. They have no regrets. They have no, like, what is the regrets? I'm sorry, remorse. They have no remorse, no regrets. And they think that whenever somebody points out something about them, it's you. If I point it out, I say, okay, so George, you're a liar, right? Wow, you're lying? Oh, look at you. You're a liar. You're disgusting. They were jealous of me. This is how those people are. They are insane, but they're crazy. Like, this is the thing. And they never change. This narcissism, like, they never change. They make up lies. They create stories about who they are. And they ended it while conning other people. Like, the guy, he didn't pay his rent for years. Everywhere he lives, doesn't pay the rent. He stole the phone from his teenage lover, like a man. Okay. So, and it's kind of like, okay, are your family values like, it's so bizarre, this whole story. Like, but again, guys, the thing about people like that, it's a talent. It takes a talent to be that person, to be like with a straight face like that. Because guys, you have to watch the thing with Tulsi Gabbard. It was really good. She was like, wait, but you lied. She's like, well, we have spoken to such and such, and we know that you were lied about this and that. They never heard of anybody with your name. Why were you lying? Like, she just like says it like that, and it's amazing. But the guy, you see, he has no emotion. This is the thing, he has no emotion. Oh, but it's just like, I'm here, I came from nothing. I came from abject poverty. And yet, like, he had all kinds of excuses, but that's what I think it is. Those people, guys, as I'm telling you, like my family members or whatever, they lie, and they just, because it's like in their minds, they're better than anybody, and they're gonna get wherever they're gonna get. So they have no remorse whatsoever. It's like, it's the comment, it's really like, and the thing, guys, and if you think of Trump, the interesting thing about Trump is that he was born, he never lied about who his family is, right? He, as Mary Trump said, right, that he made more money from his inheritance than he's ever made in his whole life. So okay, so that's the thing, right? That's the thing. So okay, all right. So that's interesting, guys. Isn't that interesting? It's fascinating. So it's fascinating about this guy, like how I would, like, you have to watch this interview with him. It's really scary. You see, guys, those psychopaths, the true criminals like that, like cold, not breaking a sweat, nothing. This is how they are, this is like, it's and it's so interesting, guys. Again, I have to watch not documentaries, the things about narcissism. The one thing that we should know about these people, they never change. They don't like, they cannot accept criticism, and they never change. So this guy, guys, he's like, can you imagine? It's so interesting. So I think he's gonna have to resign. Like I said, guys. Yeah, no, guys, I don't know. Okay, he is the son of immigrants, right? But I think he, it's just like, because, okay, obviously I know a lot of Brazilians have very thick accents. I have a tiny, I really don't have much of an accent, but if you listen to a Brazilian, that's what I was expecting. He has no accent whatsoever. So that means that means I think he grew up here, or at least he was a teenager when he came here. Okay. I mean, I was a teenager, I was like 18, but I studied English when I was growing up. So I knew I had a different accent, I had a British accent. But anyway, so the point is guys, that you have to, he's been here a long time. True, it's not a lie. Okay, it's not a lie. But that's interesting, right? But I think it's kind of perfect that this person happened right at this time, because it's like, it's exactly the people they attract. Like, who wants to run for office? This guy is who they want to run for office. And nobody, and this is the other thing, guys, I was listening to some snippets of news, and they were saying, how come nobody caught him? Because the opposition research did not catch it, because he's such a good liar. It's kind of like Trump, right? You never think a guy would do, like, how could somebody do that? And it's the shock value. It's what is the cognitive dissonance? You never think. And, the other thing, guys, he looks white. That's the other thing. He's the type of Brazilian that looks white. And so like, so that's another element to this, right? If he was like Latino looking, quote unquote, okay, you know what I mean? Like, that's another thing. So it's really very interesting, this whole thing, how that is. Okay. So very fascinating. Anyway, it's very interesting, guys, right? Don't you think it's fascinating? It is very fascinating, this whole thing. Very interesting, right? This guy. So, but I think he's gonna do, okay, what I think is gonna happen, guys, I do think he's gonna go. I think he's gonna go, he's gonna have to resign. He's gonna be forced. And this is, guys, it's getting to the point where it was with, what's his name, Cawthorn. They're finding these people, like, the lover, and then the stolen cell phone and everything. I think guys, this guy can't be saved. It's not one thing. The guys, and it still is like a miracle. It's like, I want to see the movie, because the guy is like, my mom died 9/11. I'm Jew, and I watch him say, I'm Jew. He's like, oh, but I'm actually, he's like, I'm Roman Catholic, but I joke with my friends. I say, I'm Jewish, right? I know I identify as a Jew. But I'm Roman Catholic technically. And it's like, I get it, because I could identify with Jewish, like I do, but it's like, to say it in a campaign context, and we know why, right? It's because he wants the votes. Especially, it's like, there's part of Long Island, Queens, or whatever, right? So it's amazing to me. Like, he will make up anything. He will say, I worked at Goldman Sachs, I worked at Citigroup, I went to Harvard, whatever. None of this is like, it's the complete bullshit. Complete bullshit. It's amazing, guys. No, I think it's like, wow. He was just like, he was like, continue lie through his teeth. Like, no shame. Amazing. And it's like, this is like serial killer material. This is serial. And guys, honestly, like, I having had the experience now, finally, with a quasi family member of mine, I was like, wow, those people, guys, that's why they're so scary. It's because they think they could just get away with everything. And they have no shame. They just will say anything. They don't care. They really don't care. So it's really like, this is an alarm. Like, this tells us, like, to be, why the danger of these types of people. They will say anything. They will lie. And but that's their internal, that's their character. And that's why they're attracted to politics. Can you imagine? It's fascinating, isn't it? And it's interesting that he's Brazilian. I'm not surprised, because there's a lot of con Brazilians. Okay. Rosie, she's a con artist. I know her from Rio. I went to school with her. She's not who she says she is. No, but guys, I'm very transparent. Like, my face, I cannot lie. I'm not a liar at all. I'm not. So, how do these people keep up with their lies? I don't understand. So it's a good question. So actually, let me ask. Well, I'd like to ask for protection. Beautiful ray of light coming on top of my head. As I breathe and I feel as if I create a circles up into the zip of that protection. Like that's information. Okay. So how do these people keep up with their lies? I don't understand. It's saying, first they're like a salesman. They're constantly selling something. And then they go to the powerful people. As long as they have the buy-in from the powerful people, it's kind of a game. Okay. It's kind of a game. And if you're willing, this is the thing, guys, people are figuring out where does money come from. That's the big question, right? Because somebody gave him money to do whatever it is, right? So this is that, like, okay, so it's really, guys, how do they, I think, it's kind of like, I was listening to now I subscribe to a few of these things about narcissism. It's like I listen, and one of them said something like this, like that. What was it? It said that those people, like that how they lie. It's more like, how we have like a fantasy or like daydreaming. It's like they daydream in like talking to you, as how you could say, oh, it'd be nice if I had this or that, or I want to and they're like, oh, I am, like, how you say like the affirmation, I am this, I am that, but you're like imagining, right? But they say it like they fantasize in like live. Okay, so it's like they create the character, so the fantasy becomes like they just speak it immediately, and they continue to weave to to weave it and to say what what they think people want to hear, you know what I mean? So, and again, with Trump, guys, this became the thing. And it was interesting. I was listening to this thing this was Maggie Haberman of all people. She's like, I'm shocked that a candidate like George Santos could run for office. And I'm thinking, girl, really? It's just like Trump. Like, we were shocked. Like how Trump was a joke. Remember when Trump was a joke? Ha 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 ha. Until he wasn't. The same with this guy. Like, don't you think it's exactly the same? Exactly the same. So anyway, so that's that. So George Santos. So what is up with him, guys? I see him being arrested again. He's a con man too, and you know how he hasn't paid the rent, and like he was sued, and the landlord won, so he owes the landlord this money, like 2 years of rent or something like that. A couple times. So that's right. So is it gonna, okay, so resume. Okay, so what's going to happen to so I see again all this is going to come out about him, and he is going to go to prison. Because guys, it's like you have to remember, the people are con men, like they really create lies, and they con artists, they just always do the kind of like lie, it's whatever needs the lie. So he will lie about anything and everything. And okay, and you know what this reminds me of, guys? It's interesting. There was this story. I follow this thing called Bellingcat. Is this data journalism. They do a lot of things about Russian spies. And so there was a story. There was like a couple, I think it was one or two Russian spies that pretended to be Brazilian. And so he had this whole story about how he was from Brazil, because Brazil is a country that actually apparently criminals want to have Brazilian passports, because people could look like anybody. Like almost anyone could look Brazilian, to be honest, right? It's a very mixed country. And like, there's like, there's a slippery, like, you know what I mean? Like it could look anything, could be, right? So they found this, it was interesting. So Russians were like, and even, guys, the guy that was exchanged for Brittany Greer, Victor something, he spoke Portuguese. He was taught Portuguese, he spoke many languages. And he went to work in Mozambique, so he learned in the Russian language school, because what's so interesting, guys, the Portuguese, at least the area that I come from, it's kind of like mainstream sound. It sounds a bit like Russian, the sounds of some of the sounds. So I could see how for some Russians, you have to be somewhat gifted for languages, I guess, but I could totally see how to Russian, Portuguese sounds, it's relatively easy because of this. Russian, I think, is one of those languages that is like, it's even harder than German, really complicated. So when you come from a language like that, all the other languages sound it's easier for you if you come from a very complex language. So I could imagine how, so anyway, so the point is saying that anybody, Brazilians could be anyone, honestly, almost anybody could have a Brazilian look. So it's fascinating. Anyway, I don't know why I'm saying this. I went off so many different directions. So that's George Santos. So George Santos, no, I see him going to prison. Pretty quickly, because he's going to be, okay, so guys, is he in Congress right now? Where is he right now? What's going on? Like, I see that they're like, the Republicans are like meeting with him, like, bitch, you got to sign out. You signed this, resign now. You're going to resign now. because then now they have the dirt, you know, they have the people, the landlords or whatever, like, okay, resign now because it's going to be trouble. It's not going to end. The soap opera. Oh, that's it. Look, first card. He has to leave. Has to leave. Strength. Okay. Okay, waiting. So has to leave. Strength meaning like people are strongly pushing him to resign. He has to walk away. Okay, so that's what I think he's gonna have to do. Is in the sea. Okay, so I see that they're like, I see guys, all these attorneys, even Kevin McCarthy, like I see that he is like all these people, but Kevin McCarthy needs him, right? He needs his vote. So what's gonna happen? Is he gonna be sworn in? What's gonna happen? I think there's too much pressure, and I see even like the Bush, like a lot of people calling and saying like, you can't, this guy, no, fighting, answer, painful answer, painful, okay, about the money. Now it's interesting, maybe more is gonna come out, okay? So I think even if he's not, guys, I think he's gonna be sued. It's gonna be a mess. It's gonna be a mess already. And I see that I think the landlords are like being interviewed. It's like a mess. He's not gonna get away from this. I don't think so. Okay. Okay. So, oh, you know how he was married? There's another story. He was married to some woman. Do you remember this story that he was married to some woman? Now, information here is ending. So somebody has like ratted him out or has decided that, because I think, guys, you know, the other thing is like, I think it's very possible for that type of person like him to marry somebody for money. Like someone say, okay, I give you the papers, you know, Brazilian, right? Brazilian immigrant Brazilian community. They're like, oh, I give you $20,000 and you marry me and I'll get you a green card. Very possible. So, and you know, he looks very gay to me. Okay. He looks like he looks so much like, there used to be a Brazilian TV show presenter named Gugu. He looks just like him. Gugu. He actually moved to Miami. Gugu. He died. He died in some kind of like accident or something here. Nothing foul play. I think it was like an electricity issue or something. So he's so it's like, I think the fraud, immigration fraud, okay, here, drunk. He's crazy. He lied. He's the woman. There was like a woman that okay. So there's these lies about this. Okay. Okay. So here is smoking gun evidence about it could be the family. So it's too many lies. Okay. Okay. So is he gonna vote for Kevin McCarthy? Is George Santos gonna vote for Kevin McCarthy? Okay, now here's looking at, okay, the money. They're looking at his money, guys. Things are gonna change. Uh-oh. Okay, so then what he wants. Okay. All right, okay. They're discovering the money. So who is he working for? Okay. He's again very shady characters. Guys, you know, he's telling me he could even have taken money from drug dealers or something like that. It's like really bad stuff. Okay, so but I don't think if he's seated, it's not gonna last. It's not gonna last. Again, the biggest wigs of the party are like, okay, you can't. Okay, so okay, here it is, the letter. Problem. Yeah, so I still this is the thing, guys. I don't feel like he's been advised strongly. And I mean, I don't think the party can be like, can they say that? Can it be like, okay, you're not, doesn't make sense. Like, I think even though they have, okay, so what about, why are they doing this to him and not like, okay, not others? Okay, what is it about? Like, it's saying the guy's too much of a comment, and it's saying at least the other people have, like, I was thinking Scalise, like the super racist crazy ones, at least they have some kind of like a background, they have some history. The guy is saying that he's like he could be anything. He's not, like, everything about him is a lie. It's saying, okay, so and he's like, that's why it shows me Cawthorn, the same thing, that he's a loose cannon, and he's he's not like, once it's saying that you give too much for Democrats in New York State, right? So that's what I think. So that's interesting. Okay. Wow. Okay, guys, I went off. I went off. Sorry, I went off. Okay. Happy New Year. Okay. let's continue here. So guys, by the way, I have to tell you this thing. I was talking to Joselle, telling her about it. It's still like touched me. So yesterday, and then we're gonna go to this because I want to know what is this message? What is the message here? So yesterday, right before I went, I fell asleep. Like the lights were on. I put my phone to the side, and then I see, like, when you have a bulb and the bulb burns and it's like you hear like a noise like that. Like, and then the light is like shines like this, and the bulb, and then it's a okay. So I saw this like as if there was like a light that was like, I hear the noise, and I look, and I didn't. Okay, by the way, I did not have my glasses on, but I could still see pretty clearly, even though I don't have my glasses on. Like now, I don't have my but guys, I look and I'm like, I came near because I was like, wait, there's no light bulb here. There's no lamp in the area where I saw the light. It was floating, kind of like, and I was so freaked out by it. I was like, oh my God, now I have to sleep. But then I was like, I'm never really afraid of the dark, as have friends or whatever on the other side. But I was like, wow, that was so intense. And I was like, why did I'm not crazy. I did not hallucinate. I just, what I mean? Like, this is like, so what is this? What is this sign? Is it like telling me something? Is this related? What is this? Like, what is that, guys? Have you had these experiences? I feel like I do have a lot of experience with electricity, but this was like an image of electricity. It wasn't real electricity. At least I don't think you could have this explosion of something without the actual electricity. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing. And then there was no smell, there was nothing. There was no cables. Spirit, yeah. I was like, wow, but I'm like, why are they are like so strongly telling me? They're saying, where's it get with it? Things are gonna, it's saying, let yourself be carried by spirit. Okay. Guardian, but guys, it was strong. It was like how like old school photographers before the flash, like they used to have a thing where what I'm talking about, like old movies, they have when they show like old photos, how they used to take the photo, it was like that thing explodes. So that's right. So it was interesting, guys. It was really intense. So all right, so that's it. That it's saying, no, it's closer than we imagine. It's like letters lead. Sometimes we say, you guys don't see what the spirit sees, but it's right there. It's real. Okay, so it's saying that it's kind of crazy. So anyway, so I was just telling you that I was like freaked out by it. I didn't know what it was, because I've been like kind of like, I don't say struggling, but like it's been intense for me, and with the like all these changes and everything. So I feel like and I've been watching these videos about bears eating people. I don't know how it started, because at first it was the mountain tragedies, and I was like, maybe it's like all this fear and everything. So I don't know. So it's just it's a reminder of what really is there, what exists, and saying, we're listening to you, we're talking to you, even though you think we don't, it seems like abstraction. It's not. Okay. All right. Okay. So I don't know this person. I don't know who that is, this person, Mary Lila. So I don't want to, it's not an orb. It's so different. I've had we've seen orbs here. It's like, it's really like a big flash of light. It is not like an orb, really. So anyway, so let me go back. So just tell you this, that I feel like in a way, if anything, this is about all the things that we see. They're real, guys. They're going to happen. I think they're happening. And I think we're getting closer and closer. I really believe that, to this world where like the seen world is, don't you think, have you noticed this? It's taking more and more power. I really think it is like expressing itself more than before. Okay. All right. Okay. So anyway, so all right. So I'm going to continue. Okay. Okay. So I don't know. Intense. Okay. So let's talk about Kevin McCarthy. Guys, sorry, I was also distracted by George the comment. Okay, so tell me, and it's just telling me, okay. So guys, Kevin McCarthy. Remember how it said I thought he was not gonna get, but I'm like, I'm not shocked. I'm like, what's gonna happen to him? And the thing is, like, so even the New York Post said he does not have the votes. And I was reading, I saw some like on the sidebar or something I was reading, saying that Kevin McCarthy is moving into the speaker office, even though he doesn't have enough votes. I don't understand what is going to happen. So they say that Scalise is the other. Who was saying this? I forgot where it was some Republican person. Oh, it was Nicole Wallace was saying that Scalise. They are saying that Scalise could be the speaker, and it's like, wow. I'm like, so what's gonna happen, guys, with this thing? What does this mean? Okay, so let's see what's happening with Kevin McCarthy. What's gonna happen to him? What's happening? Because isn't it tomorrow? They have to decide tomorrow. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna go over a little bit because I'm completely distracted as a okay, because there's a lot of interesting things to talk about astrology and like all these things. Okay, so Kevin McCarthy short. Okay, so shorter votes, likely shorter votes to become speaker. So okay, so here we are. Protracted floor vote. Okay. So what's going to happen tomorrow? Kevin McCarthy, what's happening tomorrow? Okay, so what's happening, Kevin McCarthy? He doesn't, I see he's like, oh, he doesn't have, so what is, okay, so what happens, guys? Okay, so, okay. Okay. So let's see, guys, I see here that I'm trying to find exactly what would happen. So what happens? Like, okay, so yeah, that's right. They don't have enough. So what happens? Like, what is going to happen here? What's going to happen? So I did see, okay, indivisible. I did, that's right. Gabby, oh, did I see somebody? Because I saw that Hakeem was going to have the gap. So what's happening tomorrow? Let's start with Kevin McCarthy. What is happening with Kevin McCarthy tomorrow? Kevin McCarthy tomorrow. Oh, justice. Okay. Can't okay. Oof. Oh, look, Jay did a lot is her favorite card. Painful ending for him. Painful ending for him. He doesn't deserve it. No, it's like justice. In other words, it's interesting, guys. I don't get it because I feel like he was kind of, he did what Trump wanted. Was it worth it for you, Kevin McCarthy? Huh? No, no. So okay, so let's see here. More cards for the day. Okay, so tomorrow, Kevin McCarthy. So how? Okay, let's just see first what happens. So not looking good for him. No, not looking good. Can't execute. He can't execute it. Basically, there's like okay. So here is okay experience. Okay, let's see. Treachery comes out. Okay, okay, so there's a coup, a little coup, a little coup for him, a little coup for him. Isn't it nice? Oh no, little coup, a little coup. Hmm? Huh? Oh no. Sad for him. I'm very sad for him. Guys, by the way, what do I have here? I have a little present for him. Oh no, 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 violin. I have a violin for him. Look at what I have here. I found it. Oh no, let's cry for him. Oh my God. Sad for him. I go concert later. I'll give you concert later. Oh my god. Okay, so sad for him. Yeah, very sad for him. I need time off for crying. Time off. Okay. No, really, it's so sad to see a GOP having to deal with the coup. Oh no, sad for him. Ah, okay. Okay. Oh no, surprise. Wow, negative surprise. That's so interesting, guys. Wait, have to wait. Waiting? Yeah, waiting. A young man here. There's a man here. Huh? Oh no, here interesting, guys. The house. Look at the house upside down. The house upside down. I feel guys, isn't that funny? It's kind of good to see. Oh, okay. So okay, let's continue. So all right, so what happens? Okay, clearly, guys, there's a surprise, and they can't. It looks like it's stalled. Stalled. Oh, oh. What happens? So what happens then? Really, what happens? So what's gonna then another way to ask the question, what is gonna happen tomorrow? Oh, oh. What's gonna happen tomorrow with the camera? So what's gonna happen if he's not, it looks like he's not gonna go through. I said for him. For him. Ah. Okay, aggression. Okay, what's gonna, oh, the interesting shaded. So weird, guys. What is, so okay, let's just see the cards first. Here is, okay, so sick. So guys, this is also a card of like a break. False person. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Oh, there's a change. Just a change. Oh, okay. Okay, so it has to go, have to go. Success. Brand. Blocked. That's it. Like, look. Now, interesting. This card is a card of impeachment. So I even wonder if like upsetting. So wow, guys, it's really so interesting. Wow. So okay, so and I see those people, guys. What happens is basically a coup, like a coup of those Republicans, the hardcore ones. But then they're happy because it's kind of like well, it's like did he vote against Trump? There's something he did against Trump, and so they're like, they think that they're going to do this to show him who is in charge. Okay, but as you said, the other ones don't have majority either. So what is going to happen to the position of the GOP then if neither of them becomes? What's going to happen? Compromised. Okay. The world. Okay, so right, never. So here is compromise. Now star is the right path and the world. So okay, this is the government. Okay, money or power. Block. Guys, is there a budget? Did they have to vote for some kind of budget or something? Worry. Look, people are worried and really like it's really troubling for a long time. It's gonna take time. It's gonna delay. You know what? I think it's possible that it could delay the start. Okay, reconciliation. Okay. This ass kissers. Absent. Interesting. So tell me about the absent fake friends. Okay, gifts. Oh, they want to be appointed to certain committees. Okay, so there's real guys that GOP in disarray, truly. Wow. Okay. So facade. Okay, so guys, okay, again, the gift. So what happens? There's a lot of, so what happens in the, okay, so let's see the things from a different perspective. So what about, okay, so tell me what happens to the house in general? What happens to the house? Welcome to the house, welcome to the house. Guys, know what I'm getting? Okay. What's so weird is that like it's kind of like January 6th. They want to do it's chaos. It's gonna be, and guys, do you remember this vision I had about Hakeem Jeffries? I was telling you about it. I had this conversation with somebody, and I had seen Hakeem Jeffries, and he was saying it's a mess, like what a chaos. And now it's becoming, I think it may, because what I see, guys, is it's like if you don't have, how do you explain it? Like I see that it's like a massive, but what they want is really, because what was the purpose of January 6th is to create chaos. So I think there's something here where they're trying to do something similar from what was happening on January 6th. Okay, is that they want something similar, some kind of like massive chaos that's going to stop the government from functioning. I'm serious. Okay, so we have here the money, the ideas of this, the money, they had a deal, like this was organized. Okay, so wrong. Okay, disgrace. Look, the wrong advice creates disgrace, upsetting. And I think, you know what, I do think it, guys, it has to do with the January 6th committee. I really believe that they're trying to create the chaos to both distract from and prevent for something. Okay. So that's okay. So here is, all right. So because that's the goal here. It's not because, what's so crazy, as you are saying, you guys are describing, it's, you cannot have, you can have, what is the point, right? If the other faction is not going to win, what is the point? What do they get? Let me ask this. What do they get out of it from this? It's saying chaos. That's it. Chaos. We want chaos. And I see, I see Jim Jordan and Matt Gaetz like banging on things just to show, to say, do the same thing as January 6th. Honestly, kind of like a mess, to make a mess, to say we're protesting, that we're being censored or something. You say you saw him with a gavel and was pulling away from McCarthy. So that's right. This is Hakeem Jeffries was okay. So what happens? Let's ask this, because Aisha asked, could the vote be split enough for the Dem to win speaker? So what is going to happen here? So what happens? Because guys, I really think this is the thing. Let me see this, because what I really see here is that they want chaos. They don't necessarily even want to govern. They are upset of the January 6th went through, and I see Ted Cruz laughing. He's in the Senate, but he's laughing. So the question is there going to be enough Republicans to kind of, but I don't quite understand how it happens, because if Republicans vote for a Democrat to be the speaker, does it make sense? Is that even constitutional? Could they do that? Does it make sense, guys, what I'm saying, what I'm telling you? Like, I thought the speaker, if you have to vote for the speaker, you have to be member of the other party. I don't quite understand it. If it's possible, that doesn't make sense. A Republican could say, okay, if you don't have, because if it comes down to so few votes, right? If you think about it, if it comes down to a very small number of votes, then you have this, you understand, like, doesn't make sense, guys, right? You have so few votes that you could have a few. Does it make sense? I don't think. So what could the Democrat, let me ask like this. So could the vote be split enough for them to win the speaker? And collect, okay. That's okay. So they have to keep voting. Oh wow, individual. She has a good contact. Oh, ending. Okay, ending. So there's a financial connection here. I don't know, again, if it's the budget or something like this. Anyone can be speaker. Interesting. You just have to have the majority, right? Privately money. Okay, so wow. Okay, people are happy. Okay. So exposing the. Look at this, okay. Okay, the wedding, the general upside down. Okay, theft. So, oh, there's a theft card comes up something foreign. So what happened? So let me ask this. So, um, so, so do they have to? Okay, so can a Democrat? Let me just ask like this: can a Democrat become the speaker? Can a Democrat become the speaker? Wow, it looks like wow. Okay, organization, man. Okay, changes. That's right. They can. Because you know what I see, guys? Okay, this is information. It could be a lawyer, but so what I think that could happen here is, and I'm smelling pot. Somebody probably outside there. So, woman. Okay, okay. So, uh, important revelation. So, what I think is this: is that if it, because what I see is that it could take even a couple of few weeks for them to. This is going to stall. And I think they could have a situation where, like, because I think those people are they're gonna try to do a lot of things. I think, okay, they're gonna it's like they want to do a coup where they are like they have a lot more power than they should have. Like they want to be put in some committees, they want to be doing this and that. So it's kind of like they're strong arming that, they're kind of like hijacking the party essentially to try to do their crazy things and to make a mess, like what January 6th wanted to do, kind of, right? To create chaos in the American government so that Russia could point at us, really, like. So then what I see happening is that there's a few Republicans that are, they know that there's going to be, it's the same, it kind of feels like it's the same situation that comes back. Are people going to let this happen again? Are we going to be hijacked by these people? You smoke here? No, but there's a smell outside. Okay. So are we going to be hijacked by these people? Because guys, it's so hot. I think it's so hot now that I opened the window and I have a fan on. But then I'm on the fourth floor, so it came all the way up here. Okay. So anyway, but the point, guys, that I was saying is that they could vote for, and that's why. Okay, let me ask a question here as a vision. And I ask you guys, those of you who have done visions with me or outside, do you see it happening too? Because I told you in the past, when I looked into the future, I saw this chaos in the house. So let's do this. Let me look at January 15th. Okay, let's see what's happening. Who is the speaker on January 15th? Okay, let me ask. Who will be the speaker? Tell me about the position of the speaker. Who is the speaker on January 15th? Guys, I have a question. Do you know, because I get that what I'm getting here is that technically it's possible that Hakeem Jeffries has more votes than Kevin McCarthy, because if all Democrats vote for him and you have the balance, do you know how many more? There's like three. It's a very small majority. Like I think how many? Do you know how many more seats the Republicans have? Like 5 seats or 3 or 4? I don't remember. It's a very small number, right? But if you consider that 15 Republicans are going to vote against Kevin McCarthy, then technically Hakeem Jeffries has more votes. Do you understand? Because they're kind of like, does it make sense? Do you understand? Like, if those of you, I know some of you follow it very clearly. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I think if it comes down to it, right? To if even though they have the majority, but the person does not want to vote, that's what I'm getting, because the House was in session before they Hakeem. That's right, Jess. So that's right. Because technically, that's what I'm telling you guys. If we have four, do you know how many? I'm serious. Do you know the number? I'm asking you guys if you can look it up. I don't know the number of how much of the majority the Republicans have. But again, if you calculate like this, let's say they have how many? Oh my God, let's see. Let me see if I can find. Okay, let's see how many more seats House Republicans. Okay. I just want the number. I really like, do you understand, guys? I don't know. I don't know. Okay, 19 days before they could choose. Okay. Let's see. Oh wow, there it is. Wait. Whoa. Now I'm confused, guys. Oh my God. Oh, okay, 218. Okay, this is like 117. I don't know, guys. Do you know? Do you have the number, please? I can't find it right now. Do you know? Oh wow. Okay, so they have nine more than we do, right? That's correct. So if all Democrat, okay, so it shows that there's something here. There's something here that I'm getting, okay, that it says this, that is like, if, because they cannot, doesn't make sense, guys. It's there's an interpart, there's obviously Republicans in disarray, clearly. So we're gonna watch it tomorrow and see what happens. I think their purpose is chaos, is to make them vote for very radical things, to push a very radical agenda. What is it called? The culture wars or whatever, right? So so the alternative to make the House, if there's only a few Republicans that vote for this, and you don't need many, you don't really need that many, then you have a Democrat. But then I guys, it's not really like you vote for a speaker, but I don't understand. Doesn't make sense. But it's not really because as Mary Lou said, you cannot have a speaker. Like we still have a majority versus, does it make sense? So it's really very interesting. But I think if it comes down, the bottom line is this: it's if they try to prevent the House from functioning, which is I think what they want to do, then we're gonna have it's some Republicans are gonna vote Democrats. I think it's possible. Yes. Do I think it's possible? I think yes, it's possible. Okay. So very interesting, guys. Right? Very interesting. Wow. Do you have more questions? I don't know. Do you have questions about this? Okay. So otherwise, wow, this is kind of shocking, isn't it? It's a little weird. So I don't, okay, so I don't know. So what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen in this case? Loyalty upside down, okay. Contempt. Trapped. Okay. Fighting, okay. Okay, trapped. So wow, it's an guys, the test for democracy continues. That's what I think. Wow. So anyway, so I'm gonna continue here, guys, until the rules are old. So I'm gonna continue here. So we'll see what happens. And I because I did think that the Democrats were gonna win eventually, but I think but not, maybe not. Guys, did you know something I read that was very interesting? It said something like that Harry Reid, Harry Reid, he became the speaker when somebody went out for a trip, or he became I forgot where. Just today I was reading this and I forgot. Um, so it was something like this. So Harry, okay, so Is that right? There was something like, hmm. So I don't know, guys. It's so that what I mean to say is that if when, let's say, for example, that somebody is indicted among the Republicans, so we don't have to wait until, so this the votes can continue. Oh, this is it. Okay, I don't think the country can be without a speaker for more than a short period of time because of the lines of session. So I do think that, again, it's not going to take that long, but they're going to have, so I think the answer here is that if they don't vote, if they decide not to vote, then there's going to be a Democrat. Something, and this is what I was trying to, when I was trying to look it up here, guys. It says that the of course Republicans, they want to do very radical things, but I just don't think that it's going to work. Will this matter go to the Supreme Court for resolution? Mhm. No, I don't feel like it gets. Wait, was this going to go to the Supreme Court for resolution? Sick, he's weak. Okay, so okay, so what's going to happen here? Madness card, manipulation, the devil. Wow, it's really kind of bad here. The friend, okay, I'll clear the house. Yeah, no, I just, guys, I think they're gonna try to buy time to force the things they want to do. Okay. They kept voting for 19 days. So I don't feel like it will. I just think that because January 6th already happened a couple years ago, right? Um, they're gonna have to, okay, they're gonna have to have a, that's why I feel like it could be a situation where a Democrat does, and that would explain the vision that I had before about Hakeem Jeffries, that he was like, it's total chaos. Because if you don't have, you have saying that you have to have a speaker. And if it's saying this, if the parties cannot agree, and it's like, let's say, for example, if it was a saying here, if it was a Democrat, right? And if the Democrat didn't have enough votes in his own party, his or her own party, then it would be whoever, then it becomes about numbers. And when it becomes about numbers, the current speaker appoints an interim speaker. And guys, and as I read this comment by Audrey here saying, I see that that Hakeem Jeffries could become the interim speaker, honestly, to kind of oversee the doesn't make sense, the workings of the House, because there has to be somebody, even if it's not, it's kind of like it's an important job, so there has to be somebody. Okay, there has to be somebody who, okay, there has to be somebody on. And I think, again, if it comes down to there not being a speaker, they're going to have to vote by numbers. Okay, so what is that? Okay, let's see. Let's look it up. What it means. The Senate to choose a president. No, not a president. Speaker. Okay. No, this is Louisiana. House of Representatives. Okay, so I don't know, guys. It's very complicated. Okay. So we'll see. Okay. Let's see here. Anyway, I'm trying, guys, there's no answer really. This is strange, right? Why wouldn't Nancy stay on until one wins? That's interesting. But that's why I feel like Hakeem would be the kind of her representative. Because what I'm getting here again is that there it cannot have nobody. It can't be without a speaker. But that's what guys, and I'm getting this is an interesting comparison. I'm getting that, it's telling me that it's saying this is what's happening in Israel, where it's a different system. It's a different they have the parliamentary system. So what happens there is that Netanyahu's government, they're trying to push all these ultra radical people. So it's saying that it's going to be kind of like this. They're going to try to push the House to be more radical than what is it kind of intended to be. So it's gonna be this like arm wrestling, and then democracy is gonna have to decide. Okay. So so I see Nancy, she's kind of watching from the sidelines. I don't think she's gonna be involved, or at least openly, she's gonna be involved in the behind the scenes. Okay. So, okay, guys, so this is, so, only time will tell. We're going to have to wait to see what happens. So what is going to be the final outcome of this? Okay, regardless of who or what is the final outcome? What's going to happen? Okay, so we can't assert themselves out. Okay. What's going to happen? But they're saying this, that the whip, there is something where they're going to try to put Scalise as but I don't think it's going to work. So it's interesting, guys. We'll have to wait and see. And I see this image, guys, of the rats eating their own. Okay, they're going to eat their own. So in a way, it's going to be chaotic, but I think it's going to backfire as usual. Okay, nowadays with the Republicans there, because I think they're doing the same thing. They want to come in as a coup. Honestly, I know it sounds crazy to say that, but that's what they're going to come in like. Oh, we're going to take it down. We're going to do this now. So it doesn't work. It doesn't work. And I feel like the tendency is for things to become much more moderate than intense. Does it make sense? So it's not, I don't think it's going to work, but you have to be, guys, the danger here is that, as we know, as with January 6th, it seems very, what you call it? You know what? I have a question. I think we should pause this because we're kind of, even us, we're stalled here in this. I don't think it's going to work. There's going to be some upheaval here. Okay. I think this is, so what's going to happen? Are we going to have a Republican speaker? Crying? Angry? Okay, letter upside down votes. Are we going to have a Republican? So I think, again, we are again at uncharted waters. So what I think we want to look at, I think it'd be interesting to see, guys, the astrology. Okay, that's right, they want to destroy, that's what I think it is. But let's look at I think the astrology, I'm not an astrologer, as you know, but I like to use what they're stating as a starting point. I like astrology, not in a personal level, but more in a global. So this is a woman that Jay she used to send me. Okay, her her insights, not insights, the things about astrology. So we have on January, this is what I thought was so interesting. We have a full moon on January 6th. So then we have, and guys, until I know that Mercury is retrograde until the 18th. So we have this like confusion for a couple of weeks. So my question is, what's going to happen? This is another way to kind of look at it. So are we going to decide by the time what's this full moon, well, number one, and how is this going to impact the house? And then what happens when we have the new moon? When all these aspects kind of happen, you know what I mean? Things kind of go back to the normal orbit. Okay, so let's start with so what's going to happen here with the full moon? And what's going to happen by the 21st? What's going to happen to the house? So so what I see, guys, it's very interesting. I see that those people are like, it's not barking wolves, but it's like the full moon when they want to create. It's like they think they're going to create yet another illusion, yet another distraction, but the full moon kind of brings up all the things that are hidden. So I do think that there's a possibility. I know it sounds a little weird. I wonder what Jack Smith's going to do about it, because I see that they're going to be very aggressive, but what's going to happen is they're going to be isolated and they're going to be exposed. Because, and also told me, look at the list of the people that are against McCarthy and how involved they were in the January 6th coup. And that's what they're trying. Some of them have been subpoenaed and they're under active investigation. So of course they're going to lose everything. They have nothing to lose by doing something crazy like this, because they're probably going to go to prison anyway. So it doesn't make sense. So it's kind of like a way for them to kind of like, take over, right? So shines the light. That's right. But at the same time, as they think, we're going to do this thing, I see them having to go to the side because they are not going to be as successful as they thought they were going to be, or it really is going to backfire. That's my sense. My question is Jack Smith going to, because I wonder, guys, is Jack Smith going to move now? I wonder, is it because this would be a good time to move or to do something? Is this going to happen? What's going to happen to those people that vote against McCarthy? What's going to happen to them between now? Okay, so so military attack, that's right. Look, the mob, so they're involved. Okay, so what's going to happen? Is Jack Smith going to do something? Okay, here it is. Opportunity to do something in public. So what is going to happen now? Hey, okay, so okay. The courts, that's right, the courts. Conversations, okay. News and fighting. Again, in public, guys, they're gonna try, essentially, they're gonna attempt some kind of coup, honestly. So, and so, because you know what it is they're going to want to try to stop Jack Smith. They really do want to do this. So, but it's not going to work. And I honestly, I can't tell if I don't know that Jack Smith's necessarily going to do something right now, but it's technically a continuation of January 6th. So they're still committing a crime. They're still trying to topple the government. If you think about it, right, that's what they're trying to do. So let's see, does Spirit have a message saying wait, and it's saying this, it's telling me wait, and it's saying that they're gonna say, so spirits are like, okay, you just wait. See, it's saying they're gonna drag it for as long as possible. And then I see, the box of like a present, there's a box, it's always in cartoons. You open the box and it's the clown pops up, right? This is the surprise box. So they're hoping that by the time this ends, they open the surprise box, they're hoping that they're gonna scare us, but the thing doesn't work. when they open it, it's not funny anymore, or the whatever, the mechanical part is not working. So it falls flat, right? As the chaos delay. That's right. So that's what I think is like, it's gonna be, they're gonna get the delay they want, and they're gonna try to do all kinds of crazy things in the meantime. But then when I ask, and they're saying they're gonna try to undo some things on Ukraine, they're not gonna succeed. But then when I ask, like, at the end, they're not going to. So what's gonna happen? Let's ask here collectively, what's gonna happen at the end of it? What is gonna be the outcome of this? What is gonna happen at the end of it? I see somebody ripping. What are they ripping? A piece of paper. So what are they? They're gonna be isolated. It's telling me this is gonna cost the Republicans the majority. It's gonna cost. Eventually, we're gonna have the majority, because I think all these investigations are gonna end up exposing. But this is it. It's gonna teach them the lesson. This is saying it's gonna cost them the majority. That's what I got. So, isn't that interesting? I don't know. I don't quite understand why or how. Isn't that crazy? And I see Putin smiling for a little bit, and then not for long, but it's gonna be funny. He's gonna amuse himself. So, guys, isn't that crazy? Wow. So, okay. Okay. Who votes how for speaker will be telling in comparison to who's in that. That's right. So I think there's an overlap. There's definitely an overlap here. There's an overlap. And so, but like I said, guys, the problem here is for those people is that they don't really have an agenda other than chaos. So they're going to lose. If all they have is this, then they don't have a way to gather people around them. That's the problem. That's why it's a coup. It's kind of like they're going to try to force their way in, their ideas, their demands, but it's not going to work. So, okay, so will GOP switch parties to change the majority? No, but I think it's like there's gonna be some kind of speaker that, even if, because in a way, if the party, the GOP abdicates, they're technically going to abdicate their right to be does it make sense? So the minority speaker becomes the speaker. It has to be a speaker. Does it make sense, guys? You understand that? So the empty seats in the chamber, that's right. So what I think is, this is basically what happens is that those radical Republicans they're resigning being the Republican Party. That's what they technically are doing. So what happens? Then there has to be a speaker. So the speaker is going to be the minority speaker. Because does it make sense? If you cannot be, there cannot be no speaker. Okay, so you saw it. So that's what I think. It's like that's what's gonna happen. So I think switch parties is not quite how it happens. Is that, in a way, it doesn't make sense, Mary? What they're doing, they are kind of switching parties, but to some kind of third party. Like they are canceling their own party. Does it make sense? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Audrey, send you energy, okay? I've been chatting. I was thinking of you. I was chatting from hospital bed. Oh my God. That's since Friday. I'm gonna send you energy. Send you energy to Audrey, okay? She's in the hospital. Oh my God, Audrey. I know you go sometimes you do go, but I'm gonna send you, okay? So they're telling me, Audrey, it's gonna be enjoyable tomorrow. It's saying, okay. Wow. Okay, send you energy, Audrey. So wow, guys, this is crazy. Did I waste your time today, guys? I feel like did I get distracted? Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, so sending energy to Audrey. Sending energy to Audrey. Okay. So Jess, I'm curious, you see, makes sense. What do you mean? Like, What do you mean? I'm curious to see what do you mean it makes sense? Because I said so many different things. I don't even know what you meant by this. So that's what that's what I see, guys, is that we see, how what they wanted to do to the Democrats, which is to separate, to split the Democrats. I think it ends up happening to GOP now. It happens now. So yeah, it's great to see you guys. Great to see you. Okay, so I'll send energy. So I'm gonna continue here for a little bit more just to see if we can get to an answer. And I'm gonna continue, guys, of course, on Wednesday. I'm gonna continue here a few more minutes at least, but we'll get to the other topics, okay, later, like on Wednesday at least. But Jess, tell me, I'm curious what you saw. What do you mean, like, by that it makes sense? Let's see. Let's see. MGC is right. That's right. Interesting. So when you asked the question, what was going to happen at the end of all this? When I closed my eyes, I saw empty seats to the right side of the chamber. When I looked around, so that's right. So I see. I also saw, now that I'm reading this, I get the sense that I don't feel like Jack Smith is going to move right now, but possibly at the end of the month he could. So, but it's even that, guys. It's gonna be, and okay, I have a question. Would these people, because that would make a lot of sense, if at least some of these people are gonna be indicted. Okay. Oh, excellent, Francie. Okay. Excellent. Okay. Wow. Okay. So I still think that this is gonna be, it's gonna be really, it's hard to say. I do think it's telling me that this makeup of the house is gonna change. I just did. Okay. Okay. So okay, so anyways, so it makes sense. I think I just feel like it's when it ends, once this thing ends, okay, I think it's gonna be, I think I just feel like we're gonna be in a different period, like in a month, in a month and 6 weeks, right? There'll be mid-February, something like that. So it's very interesting. No, guys, it's very interesting, right? Don't you think? Very interesting. Very interesting. So no, interesting. No, really. Wow. Jared and so that's right. So I still think they're gonna try. Okay. Oh, this is the thing that I got a bit distracted. So just to tell you this, guys. So the thing that I saw about the thing that I wanted to know is that it makes sense that the people that are trying to quote unquote protest, or like not, to block, the people that are trying to block the McCarthy thing are the ones that are there. So my question is, do they know they're under investigation? Have they been notified? Okay, so do they know? Because that would make sense. If I'm going to jail, I'm going to try to delay the proceedings, right? Because if I'm going to go down, then the whole thing's going to go, that's their thing. So Do they know? Yes, they seem to know. They seem to know that it's not good, and they have to like we have to like stop it. They're still the type guys. They're the ones who try to like make January 6th happen. They're the same people. They still have the same goals. They haven't stopped because they know they're on the wrong side of the law, and they know they could go down. They know it. They know, and it's saying that their aides have been. They know it. They seem to know that at least the investigation is going on. So of course they want. So yes, it's going to show, and it's some. And I see even in the future that this is going to be complicated. I don't know how they're going to bring it up, but it's saying that these actions are a form of obstruction of justice, a very sophisticated form of like obstruction of justice. Doesn't make sense, like because they're guilty, they know they investigate. They'll be like, we're gonna create a chaos. We're gonna say that we're gonna investigate Jack Smith. We're gonna, just like what they did with Mueller, right? They're gonna try to do the same thing, like, oh, he's, whatever. Like they're gonna create a distraction. Except that now they're not the majority. They may be a temporary majority, but not for long. Okay. So just like okay. Does it make sense, guys? I think it does, right? I think it does. So yeah, so good night, guys. Good night. Okay, it was really good, the conversation. Yeah. So we'll talk tomorrow. I think we'll see. I don't know. I don't have anything. So if anything massive happens, then we'll talk. But I think I'm gonna talk. We'll talk on Wednesday. Exactly. I think they're just trying to burn it all down because they know this is like they have a lot to lose, right? Of course, if they have to lose to go to prison. And so they have to burn it down. Like, right? But it's in a way it's going to be good for us at the very end because it's going to show what Republicans are really about. They don't even care about their own party, right? So okay, all right. So it was great, guys. Thanks for staying. Thanks for staying tonight. And we'll see. Tomorrow is going to be a very interesting day. We have Violin for him tomorrow. Okay. Good night, guys. Okay, I'll talk to you on Wednesday. Good night.